I'm Susie Bird, and I'm a photographer based just outside of Bristol. I specialise in dance photography along with baby photography, and I also do a little bit of personal branding photography.
Can you give me a brief summary of how you got to where you are today in terms of your business?
I didn't actually set out to start running a business. Some people do say I knew that I wanted to do that, and there was never that moment for me. It literally just happened. Because I'd started up doing the dance photography while I was at uni, I kind of came out and then I was like, I need to find a way to keep this going. So I just started doing free shoots, and then people started kind of wanting to pay me to do it. And then I started up the baby and family side as well on the side, because that was a little bit more bread and butter than the dance photography, because that's so niche. I've just been doing it for 4 years now, 2 years full time. It's only got to the point kind of a year or two ago where I've started to think that I've really got it, photography wise, because you can only learn by doing it.
Do the surroundings of Bristol or Clevedon or areas around that you work in influence your work?
Mainly with my dance photography, because I do a lot of that on the street. It always started out in Bristol, so that was always using the architecture, things people would recognise in the photos to kind of get that connection to the photograph because they are familiar with the place.
Is there a particular moment that stood out for you in your career so far as something that you're really proud of or a really big achievement?
I'd probably say opening my studio, because that kind of took my baby photography from being something that I was really trying to get off the ground to actually having a premises. Once I got my studio, then it was actually I can charge more, create a better experience for my clients.
So as a freelance photographer, what does your day-to-day life look like?
It's literally so varied, week to week. I mean, I work a lot. I don't have that many days off, although it's something I'm trying to work at better at the moment, is getting that work-life balance. But yeah, day to day, it's kind of say I had a newborn shoot, and then I'd either have a viewing session for another client, or I'd just be getting bits done at the studio, or I'd have a networking meeting, or a meeting with potential clients. The evenings, I'm usually sat on the sofa doing editing. So it never really stops, but every day is completely different, which I really like.
Are there any negative aspects of being a freelance photographer?
The positives definitely outweigh the negatives. I get to do what I love every day, which is amazing, but I work all the time. Even on a day off, I'm checking my emails on my phone. I'm thinking about something I have to do. You can't switch off at all, because everything you do comes back to you. So when you're freelance, if you've got a problem, it directly affects your reputation, your income. One negative review is personal, because it is you that runs your business, so it can be quite stressful and you have to really love it, but if you're really passionate about what you do, then it's so worth it.
How important do you think it is to have experience in this industry?
I think with photography in particular, you develop your style the more you shoot. You can't learn from a textbook. It's why I didn't learn much at uni, because I wasn't doing what I wanted to do. It's not until you come out of uni and you do stuff that you're motivated about, you're passionate about, and you do it over and over and over until you get better, that's when you start seeing the improvement. So experience is essential. You can't come out and start charging for something straight away.
How important do you think networking is in this industry as well?
I'm currently part of a networking group that I have to pay for. Not a fan of paying for networking. I think there's so much free networking out there. And networking isn't just going to a networking meeting. It's finding someone on Instagram, meeting up with them for coffee, and then getting to know them a bit more. Because it's honestly, I'm so passionate about community over competition, because there's room for everyone. So I think, networking within your own industry is really important, because you get that support. You've got people to ask questions to.
Are there any particular qualities you feel are important that you need to make it as a freelance photographer?
You've got to be prepared to work your ass off and work every day. I've worked weekends all the time, but you've got to go through that. You can't just work 2 days a week to start off with and expect to get your business off the ground. But you've also got to be really practical. You're not just a photographer. You do admin, you're an accountant, you're in marketing. You've got to be prepared to learn everything.
And finally, is there any advice you'd give to anyone that's aspiring to be a freelance photographer?
Just go out and shoot. Shoot. Shoot anything and everything to start with. Find what you like and hone in on that. Invest in training, whether it's online, from other photographers, from people who are really doing it. The only way you're going to learn is by shooting every time you can for free. Don't expect to be paid for the first year or two. When you do start charging, don't undercut other photographers. You need to charge a real rate, because they've worked so hard. Don't think you can come in and steal their business. just because you're starting out as well. I think that's quite important because, again, community of competition, if you want to get in that community, you've got to be respected. And don't be afraid of working all the time. There's nothing wrong with it. I think sometimes people say like, oh, you're working too hard. But if you love it, it doesn't always feel like work.